And the Bonds trial here at Federal Supreme Court has been delayed. Who knows when or if the trial will ever take place. I have a long list of professional wrestlers have died under the age of 50 years old. And on March 13th of this year, that list grew even longer. And they also restored hope in the 49ers franchise. Reporting from Santa Clara at the 49ers headquarters, the Cleveland Cavs and LeBron James are on their second straight playoff sweep. Most people believe there was a rift in the organization between Mullen and coach Don Nelson. Larry Riley will replace Mullen as GM, and word is that Mullen will land a front office job with the New York Knicks. Quarterback Matthew Stafford got a record $78 million 6-year contract for being drafted number 1. Let's take a look at the rest of the top 10 picks.
That's right. Tell us what's going on.
Well, right now, basketball is king in the sporting world. In the men's NCAA tournament, they are now down to their Final Four: UConn, North Carolina, Michigan State, and Villanova. In women's basketball, the Bay Area fans have something and a team to root for. The Stanford Cardinals are just 2 victories away from winning the NCAA tournament. Woods added another victory at the Arnold Palmer Invitational on Sunday. The $100 million man will now be the $10 an hour man. Vic will be a free man after serving a 23-month sentence in his involvement in dogfighting. He is the top scorer of the San Francisco State's soccer team. After going to high school in Rancho Cucamonga, he came to San Francisco to help the Gators soccer team. He's been playing the game for as long as he can remember.
Well, I started really young. When I started playing when I was 4 years old. I think at the time it was just everyone else was doing it. And then once I started playing, I just loved the game. I've been playing ever since.
Dylan is a junior, and although he lives and breathes soccer, he says the game is not his number 1 priority.
It's always been school first, so if I'm not good in school, then I can't play on the field, so school always comes first for me.
And the focus on schoolwork seems to transfer over into the game of soccer itself.
And Dylan's one of those kids. He takes care of his business, both on and off the field. And he's a guy that you don't have to worry about all those little extra things and the extracurricular activities that could get in the way. So yeah, they definitely correlate. A kid that takes care of his stuff off the field is a guy that we don't have any issues with on the field.
Dylan was recently recognized on National Student Athlete Day as a student athlete with a grade point average of over 3.5 or higher. Some of his former teammates were asked what they thought about his dedication to his schoolwork.
I've seen him in study hall a few times doing his homework, so it doesn't really surprise me.
So my job is basically to shoot, score as many goals as I can, but if I get a chance to slide tackle somebody, I'm going to do it.
That aggressiveness, not only in school, but on the soccer field, really helps his game.
Yeah, well, that's his job. He's a striker, and he's the finished product. He's the guy that should be scoring goals for us.
Dylan says after getting out of college, he still plans to remain in the sports world one way or another.
Well, either, I could try and play at the next level, maybe in Europe possibly, or something in sports, whether it be marketing, PR, or maybe even coaching.
Dylan Glass led the team with 3 game-winning goals and 12 points on top of having a 3.5 GPA. At the Convention Center in Santa Clara, all you could see was a sea of red and gold. Thousands of loyal 49ers fans gathered to watch the 2009 NFL Draft, in which the 49ers had the number 10 pick. Many fans believe that the draft is the day that can turn around the 49ers franchise.
It's huge. I think the future is here. The future is here right today.
Not only was the day about adding new players to the team's roster, but the 49ers also unveiled their new jerseys. The new jerseys have a similar look to the 1980s 49ers uniforms. The 49ers won 4 championships during that period, and some believe the jersey change might produce similar results from that era.
It reminded me of the old school 49ers back in the 80s when we were champions all the time. I loved them.
And fans nervously waited for hours watching the 9 teams that had picks before the 49ers. Most 49ers fans had the similar idea on just who the 49ers should draft with the number 10 pick.
But we need to get an offensive player because our defense is already right.
I like Raji. He's tops of my list, but I don't think he's going to be there. After that, Crabtree or one of the tackles. I'll be really happy with that.
And after the Raiders passed on drafting on what some consider to be the best player in the draft, wide receiver Michael Crabtree, the 49ers made plenty of fans happy by picking him. 49ers fans weren't shy about commenting on the Raiders' decision to pass on Michael Crabtree.
Thank you, Al Davis. You did it again because we got the best one of the draft, and I thank you so much. Good luck, Raiders.
As the excitement and the day winded down, 49ers head coach Mike Singletary had a parting message for the crowd.
You got to come out there and support your team, because we're going to be worth watching. Don't miss it.
NFL Draft Day is when Christmas comes early for football fans. And today, the 49ers got new jerseys and a new wide receiver. And they also restored hope in the 49ers franchise. Reporting from Santa Clara at the 49ers headquarters, this is Will Davis, State of Events. The all-time home run leader, Barry Bonds, is on the DL again. But this time, it's not the disabled list, it's the delayed list. Bonds was indicted and ordered to court this month, but the trial was delayed by federal prosecutors. Bonds is being charged with lying to a grand jury, but after months of controversy surrounding Bonds, he will now have to wait until later this year, if not longer, to get his day in court. The delay comes after Bonds' former trainer, Greg Anderson, once again refused to testify in court. That, along with 3 of the 4 failed drug tests being thrown out by the judge, has prosecutors asking for a delay. Despite the delay, Bonds still isn't being welcomed with open arms in the court of public opinion. The San Francisco Giants don't want to have anything to do with Bonds. His jerseys and memorabilia are nowhere to be found outside of AT&T Park. All we can find were these plaques that show the team leaders year by year. The once face of the San Francisco Giants has now become a forgotten man with the Giants organization due to the steroid scandal. Some fans have even questioned Bonds' legacy.
Well, if you look back to, guys like Babe Ruth who didn't have the benefit of steroids, then, yeah, it would be tainted based on that.
Others have a different view on Bonds.
They need to leave that man alone and let him live his life. Since they're probably jealous he has more money than everybody, they might try to put him in jail or something.
And the Bonds trial here at Federal Supreme Court has been delayed. Who knows when or if the trial will ever take place. But one thing's for certain is that Bonds' legacy will be held in the hands of public opinion. Reporting from State of Events, this is Will Davis.